Thank you very much. These accomplishments and opportunities elicit in me a deep sense of gratitude and hope. If you leave with nothing else tonight, I hope you will leave with that sense of gratitude that we feel for every single person in the room, whatever level or type of support you have provided. I hope you have a sense of what you have accomplished with us for children who were in desperate need. This, though, is not simply about providing seats for 348 more students. This is about a concept and a movement that I am convinced will absolutely transform the educational landscape here in Milwaukee. And yet, we must acknowledge tonight that our city is in a state of absolute educational crisis. I wondered if it is appropriate on an evening of celebration like this to dwell on such things. And in my view, as I thought about that, it is not only appropriate, but it is essential that we consider these things. The sad reality is that while this year, 424 students, mostly minority low-income students, get access to an education that will give them life, there are tens of thousands of children in our city who every day go to school in schools that are broken, that are failing, and leave them crushed and hopeless. This year, our community endured wave after wave of depressing and distressing news. On January 28th, we learned that mayoral control of MPS wasn't dead. Apparently, it died shortly thereafter because we've heard nothing since. On March 4th, we learned that Wisconsin would receive $0 of the $5 billion federal Race to the Top funds that were set aside for education. On March 24th, we learned that fourth grade reading scores for African American youth in our fine state are the worst in the United States. On September 28th, we learned that our city had sunk from the 13th to the 4th poorest city in the United States. And then just 6 days ago on Sunday, as I went to a coffee shop and I was thinking about what I was going to say tonight, I wasn't sure if we needed to go into this negativity, and I opened the Sunday paper, and the chart that's on the screen behind me was right there in front of me, revealing that only 9% of fourth grade African American fourth grade students are proficient in reading. And you can see that big, huge red line that somewhere around 60% are below basic, meaning illiterate. What are we creating when our city has that many children who are essentially illiterate? What are the long-term options for these children? What if these children were our children? To me, this is outrageous, it is unconscionable, it demands immediate action, and it demands those of us who are adults and who are empowered that we act aggressively and ceaselessly, tirelessly, to resolve these issues. Despite all of that bad news, and I'd be a fool if I brought you here to depress you tonight. Despite all of that news, I am an incredible optimist for the future of our city. And the reason why I'm an optimist is that this school, this work that you support, is not a lonely island in a sea of failure. Throughout this city, there are growing schools, successful public, charter, private, voucher schools that are delivering phenomenal educations to poor minority children. These schools are exceedingly popular, and parents are flocking to them, and they're growing and replicating quickly.